ACC win and 2 straight losses for Cal, where they felt like they should have won both of those games. They should be undefeated like Pitt is. We'll see how they respond. Pitt won the toss and they want the ball first. The kickoff right at the goal line. That's Kenny Johnson who's going to bring it back, and he gets upended. So good special teams coverage for the Bears. And here's the quarterback you've been talking about, Brock. Eli Holstein takes the field.
Listen, he's been sensational since the beginning of the year. Redshirt freshman, transfer in from Alabama. He's number 3 in the country in total yards per game at 366 a clip. The thing that's impressed me most, his metal's been tested. He's had big second-half comebacks against Cincinnati, rival West Virginia, and Pitt is seeking their first 6-0 start since the early 80s.
1982. And the offensive numbers they've been putting up have been really impressive. First pass of the game is knocked down at the line of scrimmage. So Cal, that ball was hanging in the air for a moment.
That was big defensive tackle 91. Ricky Correa doing a great job reading the quarterback's eyes. And when Eli goes to throw the football, got a hand up and was able to break up the pass.
You've already talked about Eli Holstein's size. I mean, he is a big kid, 19 years old, 6'5", 225. From the shotgun, he's going to throw middle, and that pass is caught, and then a broken tackle. Donate Mumfield, who's kind of their big play guy, for a gain of 7.
Yeah, you know, the thing about Eli, you're just talking about how well he's been playing. The thing that I like about Holstein is he's gotten better every single week. If you go back to watch him from week 1 to week 5, completely different player. I expect him to take another leap today against Cal.
3rd and 3, first drive of the game, handoff straight ahead, and no. Wow, they gave it to Desmond Reid, who's such a weapon in so many different ways, but maybe not as a power runner, and Cal was there to stuff him.
No, great job by Ricky Correa up front. Just using his hands, using his size. Ricky Correa, big body, 6'4", 325 pounds. You talked about it in the open. How does Cal respond to those 2 gut punch losses against Florida State and Miami? You couldn't ask for a better start, 3 and out, and giving the football back to their offense.
So Mikey Matthews back to receive this punt. That's a nice high punt, angled toward the sideline. Fair catch made right around the 25-yard line. So Cal's defense gets the stop. That was a 52-yard punt, by the way, with no return. And Fernando Mendoza will take the field. We've seen Fernando a lot this year, Brock. You and I. He had 4 50-plus yard completions last week against Miami.
Yeah, he's playing really good football. Last year he had 8 starts, had some issues with turnovers, 12 total on the season, but he's really cleaned that up this season. 3 turnovers with interceptions, 7 touchdowns. But the thing I like about most about Mendoza is his leadership.
He's an easy kid to root for. You just watch his body language, how he deals with his teammates. His first throw, a long one, all the way across the field, and caught by Tron Grizel for a gain of 10.
Yeah, this is going to be a matchup that I expect Cal to try to take advantage of all day. Tron Grizel been very reliable for the Cal Bears the last 2 years. Matched up on free safety Javon McIntyre. That's a matchup that Cal's going to win the majority of the time.
And he kind of limped off the field after making that catch. So he's off the field for 1st and 10, and a little jet sweep type action. The cut upfield, and a pretty nice move by Mikey Matthews to get 5 on 1st down.
When I expect to see a lot of these speed sweeps, maybe some quick perimeter throws out of Cal early in this football game. They've really struggled to establish the run game. Just last week, about 23 yards on 15 carries from the running back. So expect the slot wide receivers to get involved in the run game early today.
We saw that shot of Grizel on the sideline. We'll definitely keep our eyes on him. Pitch to Thomas, and that's a nice run for Jet Thomas into Pitt territory across midfield. 13 yards on the ground. That's a good first run for the Bears.
Yeah, listen, the offensive line, they've been nicked up all season. You've had a lot of moving pieces up there, but great start to this football game. And then tight end Jack Endries, number 87, out there leading the way for Jet Thomas, who's really, he's had to fill the void for Jaden Ott numerous times this year, having a heck of a season at 6.4 yards per carry.
I mean, you lose Jaden Ott. He's one of the best running backs in the country, but Javion Thomas is really talented. He gets the ball here and gets a yard, maybe 2 on 1st down. Well, you heard Stormy say it just a moment ago. No Corey Dyches, really good weapon of the pass game, tight end, sort of hybrid type player. Jaden Ott, All-American tailback. Cal's missing a couple key players on the defensive side of the ball. Dealing with a lot of adversity.
Yeah, a lot of adversity on the road, but Cal has showed that they're a resilient team. They have a great mindset. Head coach Justin Wilcox, one of the best in the business.
Second down, Mendoza in the pocket. Now he's going to scramble, and a penalty flag thrown. A couple flags, in fact. Then he takes a hit as he goes into a slide. If the play were to stand, it was a scramble of 7 yards. I don't believe that it will. We'll see.
Holding offense, number 72. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
It's right tackle TJ Session. He's really held down that right side for the last 2 seasons. Look right in the middle of your screen. Just a late kind of almost tackle, holding on to the chest, taking down to the defender. Easy call for the officials.
That was Jimmy Scott, the defensive lineman, who got held. Offensive line has been a major problem for Cal. Now, this is a different Pitt team. I mean, their offense is the reason why they're 5-0. They don't have as many. They have some. We're used to seeing big-time disruptors, pass rushers, defensive line stars. A bad snap, terrible snap. Mendoza is going to throw it away, take a hit, and it falls incomplete. Wow.
Wow, what a monster hit Mendoza took on that play. Great job getting rid of the football, but the play was doomed from the beginning. Center Will McDonald finally back in the lineup. Missed the beginning of the season due to a late fall camp injury. Played mostly offensive tackle at Coastal Carolina before transferring into Cal. Just an off-target snap, which sends Cal into 3rd and long.
Okay, so they're going to review that. Looked like an incomplete forward pass to me, but we'll see. Back to Pittsburgh right after this.
Stands.
Incompletion, but we did. Replay has not been very kind to Cal. Certainly wasn't last week. This one went in favor of the call on the field. So 3rd and 19 for the Bears. They brought some pass rushers, and Mendoza fires a beautiful ball, complete for a first down to Jonathan Brady.
What a throw under big-time duress in the pocket for Fernando Mendoza. The Panthers elect to bring pressure on 3rd and extremely long. Well, that voids some of the zones in the defense. Mendoza making the defense pay.
They get to the line relatively quickly. Thomas gets a carry inside the 30. Man, what a conversion on 3rd and 19.
What a big-time pickup. Usually, you don't have many play calls in the playbook for that type of situation. But Jonathan Brady, Fernando Mendoza doing a great job.
For an injury to a defensive player.
Now Pitt's got a defensive lineman, Isaiah Neal, down on the field. So he's hurt. We hope Isaiah's okay. That'll take us to another timeout. Game day was there for the first time ever. Cal then on the field led 35-10 in the second half. And yet it ended in tears for the Bears. 39-38. Miami came from all the way back and stayed undefeated. And that's the challenge we've been talking about for Cal. How do you respond after all those emotions? Now a little pitch back play, but Pitt defends that well. Josiah Martin, the freshman wide receiver, got the ball coming from side to side, and he lost 2 yards.
That was great eye discipline by the Pitt defense. Not fooled for a second on the end around by Josiah Martin. Doing a great job reading their keys, staying home to force the 3rd and long.
Well, Cal just converted a 3rd and 19 a moment ago. Now facing 3rd and 8. Isaiah Neal is back in the game on the Pitt D-line. Man in motion. Mendoza looked right, throws left. Brady cuts it upfield, and he'll get the first down.
Great play call by offensive coordinator Mike Blesh. Just a little inside tunnel screen to slot wide receiver Jonathan Brady, playing outside on that play. Able to follow his left tackle Nick Morrow and his left guard Rush Reimer to pick up a fresh set of downs.
That's 2 conversions for the Bears on their first drive of the game. This will be the 10th play of the drive coming up.
And that's huge. Cal really struggled on 3rd down a week ago, going just 2 for 10 against the Miami Hurricanes.
Now Thomas gets the ball, left side run, big hole, there goes Thomas. Touchdown Cal. 21 yards and the first score of the game for the Golden Bears.
Great 3rd down pickup by Cal, and then coming back, giving the football to Javian Jet Thomas, who takes it the distance, 21 yards out.
What a drive. 10 plays, 75 yards, took almost 5 minutes, 2 long 3rd down conversions, and then an explosive run by Thomas.
Well, if there was any question how Cal was going to respond to the gut punch loss last week, force a 3 and out on defense, fantastic drive on offense.
And they're going for it, going for 2 rather. They flip it up, incomplete. Wow. Usually we see that formation and then everybody comes back and gets ready for an extra point. Lachlan Wilson, the punter, the guy who tried to hit the snapper David Byrd, who was open, and there's a reason that he's a punter.
Yeah, he had his target, just missed him. The touchdown run by Javian Thomas was really set up by tight end Jack Endries. You're going to see him come into your screen late. He seals the edge on defensive end Jimmy Scott, and that's what creates the big hole outside for Thomas. Great execution by the Cal Bears offense on their first offensive possession of the game.
So that was beautiful. This wasn't quite as beautiful. I mean, it was there for the taking. The snapper was open, David Byrd, and Wilson just shoveled it out of bounds.
I like the creativity. There's Ryan Longwell on the screen. Former Cal kicker, longtime NFL place kicker with the Packers, Vikings, short stint with the Seahawks. You know he had his hand in that. He played in the NFL a very, very long time, had a fantastic career. You know, he's seen a lot of fake plays on the special teams end of things.
He probably dreamed of having a chance to throw for a 2-point conversion. In his dreams, the play ended a little differently. But Cal gets on the board first. 6-0 is their lead. This kickoff will go into the end zone for a touchback. So now Holstein and the Pitt offense back on the field. Both teams are used to close games, and Pitt is definitely used to coming from behind. The Panthers have been an amazing comeback team. They trailed in the last minute, both at Cincinnati and at home in the backyard brawl against West Virginia. Cal, on the other hand, their 2 losses, both they were ahead late in the 4th quarter, lost both those games. So nobody's going to blink if this game comes down to the wire. 1st and 10 for Pitt, and a handoff. That might have been a face mask. Only 7 of the officials saw that. I think Nate Burrell is the guy who grabbed the face mask of Des Reid.
Yeah, that one was pretty clear.
Face mask, defense, number 98. 15-yard penalty, and automatic first down.
Not a lot to hide on that foul. Pitt Panthers electing to try to get Des Reid started. He's number 2 in the country in all-purpose yards, just shy of 200 yards a game. Truly electrifying player for the Pitt Panthers.
And he's a good runner, but where he's really shined has been in the pass game.
No question. Last week alone, 11 catches, 155 yards, and a touchdown on the road against North Carolina.
They list him at 5'8". We'll let you make your own judgment as to whether he's 5'8". But man, can he run, and he can play. He has been awesome. They're going to fake a pitch to Reid, and Holstein will have the ball pop out. It's on the ground, and one of his offensive linemen falls on the ball. The ball, I think, just flew out of his hand. David Reese maybe knocked it out. And Pitt lucky to recover. They lose 5 yards.
It's a heads-up play by left tackle Branson Taylor falling on that football. Pressure's going to come from the top of the screen. That's David Reese, finally healthy and back in the lineup. Missed the first couple weeks of the season, got some playing time last week against Miami. He's somebody that Justin Wilcox said needs to affect the football game. He played so well at the end of the season last year, and he said he wanted to see more of that going forward.
And they're missing the other guy who plays that spot, Ryan McCullough. He's out for Cal, so you're right. He really needs to have a good game. Holstein now looked like a design run, and Holstein, who's got some real power, just a freshman, but he runs with purpose.
Yeah, you know, listen, Eli Holston, he's big, he's stout. This is something he does every week. But watch Des Reid leading up on linebacker Teddy Buchanan, having himself possibly an All-American season at that middle linebacker position for Cal. Des Reid not afraid to stick his nose in there and lead up on the middle linebacker for his quarterback.
Good job by Reid there. So the gain of 9 sets up 3rd and 5. Holstein back in the shotgun formation. Cal showing some pressure. We'll see if they bring it. They just rush 3, really. Holstein dumps it short, incomplete. And that was not going to get the first down anyway, because Cal had that read nicely. Cade Uluave, who had such a great game last week against Miami, was right there.
Monster game with 15 tackles and 2 quarterback hits. No hesitation here by Pat Narduzzi. Looking like he's electing to go for it here on 4th down and 5.
Cade Bell, the 31-year-old play caller who's transformed this Pitt offense. This is interesting.
3rd down, Cal showed pressure, dropped out into zone. I expect them to bring pressure here on 4th down.
They are going for it on 4th and 5. Here comes the pressure. The throw caught by Reid out over the middle. And a first down and more into Cal territory. That was gutsy, and it worked big time.
Yeah, and I really like the play call by Cade Bell. Des Reid free releasing from the backfield, working on linebacker Cade Uluave. That's a mismatch. Great job finding that by the offensive coordinator, and throw and catch by Eli Holstein.
As good as Uluave is, I don't know that there are many linebackers anywhere who can stay with Des Reid.
Well, listen, I said it in the open. Des Reid reminds me of Darren Sproles, the College Football Hall of Famer, played in the NFL for a long time, former Kansas State Wildcat. He's just a mismatch. Nobody on the field can cover Des Reid in one-on-one situation. Their only chance is to meet him at the line of scrimmage, collision him, and get him off course. That time, Uluave wasn't able to do that.
Quick throw, left side, and a cut, a spin, a first down. That's Kenny Johnson, his 2nd catch in a row. He got 8. And now Pitt's got an offensive lineman down on the field. Maybe Ryan Jacoby, a left guard. It's his 2nd Pitt player hurt in this first quarter. 6:08 to go in quarter number 1. Panthers on the move. Back right after.
I want to go back to this 4th down play call. You're going to see a little Texas route by Des Reid out of the backfield, and Cade Uluave is in man-to-man coverage. If Cade does not collision this running back at the line of scrimmage and get his hands on him, Reid is way too dynamic of a playmaker. He's going to win that battle every single time. Great job by Pat Narduzzi putting trust in his offense to go for it on 4th and 5.
It's a whole new world in college football these days. Holstein dumps it off, incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. You got a defensive head coach. You're on your side of the field. It's 4th and 5, not 4th and 1. Go for it with no hesitation. And it worked. Man, now Pitt has another offensive lineman. They just lost Ryan Jacoby a moment ago. And now Branson Taylor is probably their best offensive lineman, the left tackle. He's down. Yikes.
Team captain, definitely the leader of the front 5. NFL size at 6'6", 330 pounds, sets the tone for the big fellas up front. If he's not able to get back in the football game, that's going to be a big loss for the Panthers.
Ooh. Looking at that left knee, he's got the double braces. A lot of linemen will do that just as a preventative measure. Taking the brace off so they can do a little testing.
Well, and you just said it, Flem. Branson Taylor now down on the field, left tackle. The left guard, Ryan Jacoby, just went out a couple plays prior. And you're seeing a Cal defensive front having some early success in this football game. It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out between the offensive and defensive front moving forward.
And matched up with David Reese there. And Taylor, I mean, there was nothing. It didn't look violent. He just started limping. But he is putting weight on it. That's a good sign. But one of the captains of this team will limp off the field. Terrence Enos will be the guy to come in and play left tackle. The whole left side, the two backups are in at left tackle and left guard.
Pitt down here in the red zone, an area of the field that they've had a lot of success in this season. 24 trips, 18 touchdowns, and they're tied for first in the country with Texas with 13 red zone touchdown passes.
They like to throw it down here, and it's really worked. Holstein takes a snap, little pump fake, and then batted down. Second one already in this game. This time was Sheck Fall, who got a hand up on it. It's third down.
Fall, another one of those guys that Justin Wilcox said really needed to step up with Ryan McCullough out of the lineup today. That's the second play I've seen number 17 make early in this ball game.
So it's 3rd and 10. Cal on their touchdown drive converted a couple long third downs. Pitt will try to do that here. Holstein in the pocket. Holstein now trying to run. Penalty flag thrown. He completes it right near the marker to his tight end Bartholomew, so it's going to depend on the flag. Cal thinks it's a hold against Pitt. As it stands, he was stopped just a little bit short.
Foul. Hands to the face. Defense number 47.
Wow.
15-yard penalty. Correction, half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Aiden Keana Aina. Hands to the face, so it's a first down. It'll be 1st and goal Pitt.
Well, they were going to pick it up one way or another, whether it was the pass or the penalty. Great protection by that Pitt offensive line with two backups now in the lineup. But keep an eye on Keana Aina right in the middle of the screen. Gets his hands a little bit high. Anytime an official sees that, it's going to be an automatic foul.
That's 2 big penalties against the Cal defense already in this first quarter. 11th play of the drive for Pitt. Holstein is a threat to run himself this part of the field. He will give it, though, to Reid, and Reid, we'll see. Touchdown.
A lot of conversation has been made about the size of Des Reid. But there's one thing I know going into the 6th week of the season. This man is a football player, and he plays with a chip on his shoulder. That was just a play of who wants it more. There was a collision in the backfield, and you saw the 5'8", 175-pound running back carry multiple defenders into the end zone.
5'8", maybe. 175, maybe. And you're right, he just powered his way in. Extra point up and good for Ben Sauls. And Pitt takes its first lead.
Just good old classic Northeast Pittsburgh football. Who wants it more? Des Reid on the little inside dive play. Great job by the offensive front. Tight end Gavin Bartholomew. And Des Reid punches it in for the first score of the day for the Pitt Panthers.
Nice drive for Pitt. 11 plays, 70 yards. They went for it on 4th down from their own side of the field. By the way, we got tonight on ABC at 7:30 Eastern. Really good matchup in the SEC. Lights on in the Bayou. Won't be easy for Ole Miss at LSU on ABC ESPN Plus tonight at 7:30 Eastern. And then, of course, after that, Kansas State and Colorado at 10:15 Eastern. Coach Prime had a long conversation with the game day guys this morning while they were in Eugene. K-State, you and I saw them lose on the road at BYU. I would imagine be a similar challenge for the Wildcats tonight in Boulder.
No question. I think this is quarterback Avery Johnson's second big test on the road since becoming a starter in college football. But since that BYU loss, Avery Johnson at quarterback, he's been absolutely fantastic.
Kickoff through the end zone. So a touchback coming, and Cal's offense will come back on the field after Fernando Mendoza led a touchdown drive the first time the Bears had it.
Really efficient on that opening drive. 3 for 4, 44 yards. Javian Thomas helps spark a big run to get the Cal Bears into the end zone. Great start for the Cal offense. See how they respond here in their second series.
And I think you said it, Cal, Jay Knott, coming into this season, he's the headliner on the whole roster. We're going to run the ball. Jaden's not playing again. He's just been hurt most of this year. But Cal still needs to be able to run the ball. And they did so that first time. Mendoza takes a hit, delivers it. Man, he's taken a couple big hits. A gain of 9 to Maven Anderson.
Great job by Fernando Mendoza getting that football out of his hands. Pitt Panthers electing to bring a boundary corner pressure. Nobody was accounting for him in the pass protection. Mendoza had to beat him with the throw.
There is nobody who can question the toughness of that guy. I mean, he hangs in there, and I don't know if there's a quarterback who's taken more hits this year. Thomas on the pitch play got around that first would-be defender. There is a flag, though, right around the line of scrimmage. It was second and short. They got 11 yards.
Holding offense number 83. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
That's on the wide-out Grizel. And, man, the penalties are killing Cal.
Yeah, Tron Grizel, usually a very reliable player, had a nice catch on the opening series. Blocking out on the perimeter for a long time. Sometimes when you get that hand outside the chest plate and you hold on a little too long, which you see there, you see the arm around the right shoulder. It's an easy call for the officials.
Pitt's played very clean in this first quarter. The Panthers have not committed a penalty. That's the fourth already, and they've all been important penalties against the Bears. So second down at 10 after it was 2nd and 1. Thomas, handoff left side, and this time Pitt was there. Brandon George, the middle linebacker, met him. Let's go down to Stormy.
Well, just because you mentioned Fernando Mendoza taking all those hits, that's something that's been a problem for him dating back to last year, including one hit that broke his sternum in the bowl game to end last season. He has made a conscious effort to put on to gain weight, muscle mass, so that he can withstand those hits and does feel like he's more durable, guys.
All right, thanks, Stormy. 3rd and 9. Mendoza from the pocket throws into tight coverage, and he completes it to Grizel. Another 3rd and long conversion.
What a fantastic route by Tron Grizel. Coming back, making a big-time play for his team. Selling the in cut on the nickel and then kind of sliding out. You see him fading away from the coverage. Great timing, great throw, great execution of the route. It's a big-time pickup for the Cal Bears.
And Grizel has really turned himself into a good player, a former walk-on from the football hotbed of Park City, Utah. Mendoza on first down, scrambling, throwing, incomplete, trying to hit Grizel again. It'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes the best plays are the ones you don't force down the field. Good job by Mendoza getting rid of that football. Saving the yardage here, keeping it 2nd and manageable at 2nd and 10. You see this battle between Cal's offensive line, Pitt's defensive line. You have a lot of athletic guys up front for Pitt. They're starting to get after this young quarterback.
Kadarius Callaway in the backfield now alongside Mendoza. He'll get the ball on 2nd down. A nice run across the 40 out to about the 41. He got 4, close to 5 yards.
Great double team up front. Left tackle, left guard, Morrow and Reimer doing a great job on the double team up to the backer to create a 3rd and manageable at 3rd and 6 here for the Cal Bears. I expect Pittsburgh try to get after Fernando Mendoza. I expect a little pressure here trying to get off the football field.
3rd down is where the Cal offense has thrived so far. Mendoza throws it very quickly out to the right side, and then a hit at the 45, and Maven Anderson stopped a yard short. We'll see what Cal wants to do here. I don't think they're sending the punter out. They're going to go for it.
It's a really good open field tackle by cornerback Rashad Battle on Maven Anderson. Just a quick little tunnel screen to the outside to Anderson. I think Cal was expecting pressure on that play, which is why you dial up those screen passes. Pitt dropped into coverage.
Now a penalty flag, in fact 2 of them thrown. And Cal may have just ruined their chances to go for it.
Legal substitution. Offense. 5-yard penalty. It's 4th down.
And their head coach is unhappy.
Got to assume there was too many men in the huddle. You cannot have more than 11 guys in the huddle, even if it's for a split second. I'm assuming that's what that play call was there. Or excuse me, the reason for the foul. Cal not hesitating here, going to send it deep on the punt now on 4th and 6.
5 critical penalties already against Cal. Lachlan Wilson back to his normal job as the punter. He's a good punter. That one, though, kind of a low line drive kick. It'll bounce right to the return man, Kenny Johnson, who gets hit and dropped at the 19-yard line. Well, taking a look at this week's college football rankings brought to you by Capital One. They look a lot different today than they did last week. And who knows what they're going to look like next week. Texas playing Oklahoma as we speak, scoreless in the Red River rivalry. Penn State down at USC. Alabama survived, and I mean barely, at home against South Carolina.
Wasn't that a finish? Oh my goodness. Alabama fans on the edge of their seat.
Including some of our crew members who were biting their fingernails. Reid gets the carry and breaks a tackle. Nice run for Des Reid. To your point, he might be the littlest guy on the field, but he can play. 6-yard gain on 1st down.
Yeah, he really can. Very tough. You're going to see left tackle Terrence Enos back up in for Branson Taylor, doing a great job leading up on Teddy Buchanan. Reid showing his toughness inside the tackles.
Broke a tackle, it looked to me like, from Uluave as well, who does not miss many tackles. 2nd and 4 for the freshman quarterback Eli Holstein in this Pitt offense. Reid, another carry left side, this time stopped just a little bit short. It'll be 3rd and 1.
You know, and when you're playing a guy like Des Reid, if you're a linebacker, if you're a safety, you have to stay so disciplined in your gap integrity because you can't see a guy like Des Reid behind his offensive lineman.
Literally can't see him, can't find him. We'll see if Pitt decides to run a play or not. It's 3rd down and 1. I think they're just going to see if Cal will jump off sides. No, they actually snapped it. It's an option. Holstein got stopped. How about that? Well, I don't know. They may have out-thought themselves that time. Pitt looked to me like they were going to go to the end of the quarter. Then they decided to run a play, and they did not get. Well, Pitt wants to go for it again as we start the 2nd quarter. The Panthers facing 4th and a half yard from their own 28.
Little aggressive for my blood, Flem, but I'm going to try to get Des Reid the football out in the flat.
And we'll see if they actually do. I would think if they're lined up, they are going to go for it. They'll shift the formation. You got a big quarterback who can run. On 4th and a half yard, they give it to Reid, and there he goes! Reid! Nobody's going to catch him! 72 yards! Touchdown! I think it was a good decision to go for it.
Yes, it was. Pat Narduzzi rolling the dice, 4th and short, backed up in his own territory. But when you have a playmaker like Des Reid, I said get it to him out in the flat. Obviously, you don't need to do that. You just get Des Reid the football anywhere on the football field, and he has a chance to make a game-breaking play.
Wow. On 4th and a half a yard, Pitt gets 72, and a guy who maybe most people around the country don't know much about. You better find out about Desmond Reid. Man, can he go.
One of the most dynamic playmakers in the entire country.
Extra point up and good. And just a disastrous sequence for Cal. Too many men on the field, didn't go for it on fourth, had to punt the ball away, and Justin Wilcox is very frustrated with his defense. That's as much emotion as you'll ever see from him.
Well, listen, we got to give some love to the big fellas up front. Right tackle and right guard, B.J. Williams, Ryan Baer. Watch the hole that they create up front for Des Reid. Des Reid, listen, one of the most dynamic playmakers in the entire country, the Swiss Army knife. He can do it all. But that offensive line, their execution against a very good Cal defensive front on that 4th and short is why that touchdown run happened.
The 2 4th down plays are, in a lot of ways, the key plays to this game so far. And I don't know if I've ever seen Justin Wilcox is about as even-keeled as a head coach gets. And I don't know if I've ever seen him that upset.
Well, listen, Justin takes a lot of pride, as does defensive coordinator Peter Sermon, on the fundamentals of their defense, how they play the game, gap integrity, sound eyes, be where you're supposed to be. And when you see a gash in your defensive front like we just saw in that last play, that's going to send a defensive coach over the top every single time.
He doesn't want to put the headset back on, and maybe his fellow coaches don't want to hear what he has to say anyway. Let's get a quick update in studio. Thank you, Matt. I mean, Matt's like you and I are. No matter, we could talk about it all we want, it's still going to take some time for us to get used to that, just like it takes some time to get used to the fact that this is an ACC conference game, Cal and Pitt. Hey, these two haven't met since 1966. First down completion to Isaiah Hunter, talented young wide receiver. His first catch of the game for 9 yards.
Good recognition by Fernando Mendoza, finding Isaiah Hunter one-on-one outside on cornerback Rylan Gandy, just taking the man-to-man matchup on a quick little stop route.
All right, the head coach put his headset back on. 2nd down and a yard, and a little throw all the way across the field for a first down. Mikey Matthews, that play looked like something was not exactly right, and yet Mendoza converted anyway.
Well, you got to give some credit to the Pitt defense. The nickel back there did a great job at triggering and trying to break up that pass play. He was standing in the alleyway. Mendoza did a great job of navigating the traffic and getting the football over the top.
2 good young quarterbacks on the field. Now, Mendoza's been around a little longer than Holstein, but neither has a whole lot of game experience. Both playing well so far. Handoff, Thomas, and Jet Thomas, who he's bigger than Reid is, but he's not a huge back, but he runs with some power.
No, Thomas listed at 190 pounds, but he's somebody that put on 15 pounds in the offseason because he said, I wanted to be available to carry the load from the backfield if the team needs me. And really, that's how the season's played out for the sophomore, with Jay Knott missing so much time due to injury. Javian Jet Thomas has really had to carry the load for the Cal Bears.
2nd down and 7 for Cal, right around their own 40. Thomas empties the backfield. Mendoza throws it left, and another catch for Matthews. Another good open field tackle, though, by Lynham. It'll be 3rd and short.
It's a great job by Mendoza finding the mismatch in the slot. Matthews lined up on a safety. That's a quick twitch slot wide receiver. He's going to win that matchup on the option route, breaking out every single time.
So 3rd and 2. Cal's had penalties in all kinds of scenarios. They've had penalties in these kind of plays, though, already in the first half. They will fake it. Mendoza's going to run it, and Mendoza won't get it. Well, he did well to avoid a big loss. He actually got a half a yard. And Cal on 4th down and short is sending the punter out. How about that?
Well, that was a really impressive play by outside linebacker Kyle Lewis. He started to play the speed sweep, but then he showed off his quickness, came back inside to play the quarterback Fernando Mendoza. You're going to see Kyle Lewis slide out with the speed sweep, showing his makeup speed there to make the play and force the punt.
So 4th down, Cal punts it away. High, booming punt. No fair catch inside the 5. Well, Lachlan Wilson is a good punter. He's a weapon for Cal. And so the Bears defense will pin Pitt deep in their own territory when we come back with the Panthers now on top. Since 1991. And they lead 14-6. Not great field position for the Panthers, though. Daniel Carter in the game for the first time as a tailback. And that was a nice run by Daniel Carter. He got 7, maybe even 8 yards on first down.
Carter packs a punch when he goes downhill. 220 pounds, former fullback at 240 pounds. Lost a little bit of weight over the offseason. Has phenomenal hands out of the backfield. And he can also pass protect. And you see his ability with the football in his hands.
That's a good play for Pitt. Just a little breathing room after starting at their own 6. Holstein, the freshman quarterback, in the pocket. Going to throw over the top and incomplete. But here comes a flag. That's going to be another penalty against Cal. Intended for Poppy Williams.
It's going to be on Hearns. Had a handful of jersey. Number 21.
Lou Maggio Hearns has been around this Cal program a long time.
Defense, number 21. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
6 penalties for 60 yards against Cal. Pitt still hasn't committed a penalty.
Yeah, Poppy Williams selling the wheel routes, showing the flat and then wheeling up the sideline on the go route. Hearns losing his technique, getting a little handsy. Easy call for the officials.
Yeah, if you grab like that, you're never getting away with that one. So first down, and just like that, Pitt's out to a more normal field position. Out at their own 29. Holstein hands the ball off, straight ahead, spin move, great balance. And Daniel Carter, 2 runs and 2 very impressive runs, 15 yards on that play.
It was a great job by left guard Jason Collier getting up to the second level up on Teddy Buchanan. And then you saw the contact balance by Daniel Carter.
Quick snap, Holstein across the middle, very dangerous, and another flag.
It's going to be on Hearns once again.
Not good. So Hearns 2 penalties in a row.
Pass interference. Defense, number 21. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Cal leads the country with 11 interceptions on D, and I thought for a moment they might have another one there, but the penalty would have negated it anyway. Well, yeah, another blatant hold.
Yeah, at some point you just got to trust your technique. You got to play football. If you're beat, try to use your speed and make up on the play. But if you reach out and grab jersey like that, you're just making it way too easy on the officials.
7 penalties, 75 yards. We get 11 minutes to go in the first half. Now Rodney Hammond in the backfield. So the 3rd running back of the day so far for Pitt. And Cal took Hearns off the field. Holstein, handoff Hammond, trying to force his way through left side. And he got maybe a yard on first down.
Well, you're seeing the mix up in the backfield. We've seen carries with Carter, Reid, and now Rodney Hammond in the ballgame. Missed the first 4 weeks of the season due to suspension. Got back in the lineup a week ago against UNC. Very talented player. Was the MVP of the Sun Bowl back in 2022.
2nd and 9. Fake it to Hammond this time. Pressure comes. Holstein hangs in there and throws incomplete. Looking for a flag. That time there was none. Poppy Williams, the intended receiver.
It was a really good job by the Pitt offensive line holding up against pressure. Peter Sermon electing to bring a blitz on that last play, trying to get this Pitt offense out of rhythm. Doing a really good job running the football right now, wanting to try to take up those run lanes and put the ball back into Eli Holstein's hands.
So 3rd and 9. Definitely the part of the field where Pitt, you figure, is thinking about 2 downs to get 9 yards. That may be the case no matter where they are on the field. Pressure comes. Holstein throws incomplete. He threw it behind Johnson, or rather Williams. Carlton got the pressure on.
Yeah, big Xavier Carlton, 6'6", 275 pounds, lined up at the middle linebacker position on that last play. And you're going to see there's a 5-man front that Cal elected to play for. It's 5-on-5 up front. Pitt free releases the running back, just a 5-man protection. Great play call by Peter Sermon to force the kick.
And how about this? They're trying a field goal that would be 58 yards. Ben Sauls has not missed a kick all year. This one on the way, and it is good. Wow. He stays perfect from 58. He might be kicking in this stadium next year wearing a different uniform in a different league. What an 8-yard field goal in a stadium that is notorious for being a difficult place to kick. 17-6 Pitt. I don't usually get real excited about field goals. That one kind of got me going a little bit.
That was worthy of it, Flem.
Man, what a year he's having. He has not missed a kick. All right, touchback. Let's get an update in studio with Matt. Wow. Well, in this year of all years, maybe we should have seen that one coming. A long way to go, though. Handoff on first down for Cal, and no gain. Well defended by Pitt. That was Callaway who got the ball. Brandon George made another tackle.
It's a really good job on first down by this Pitt defense, showing their speed. When you watch them on film, the thing that jumps out to me is they swarm to the football. It is always 11 guys in blue jerseys getting to the football. Great start to the series.
Feels like a big sequence here for Cal's offense. Pitt has taken control of this game with some big plays. Mendoza throws short, and right there the defense to meet the tight end Jack Endries. Maybe got a yard or two with some effort at the end of that play. Maybe.
Great job by middle linebacker Brandon George in the middle, 6'3", 240 pounds. Cal trying to get off a little tight end delay screen to the inside. George did a great job with his eye discipline, broke up the play.
So 3rd and 8 for the Bears. I don't know that everybody was really ready for that snap. Here comes a flag. It'll be the first penalty against Pitt. Hunter, the intended target, and Tamun Lynham can't believe it.
Defense number 8. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So that's a big penalty, the first of the game against the Panthers.
Lynham was really in phase early on, and I think the ball was so errant, but Isaiah Hunter did a great job of coming back, playing for the football. There's definitely contact down the field. I think that's a good call by the officials. Good job by Hunter turning around, trying to make a play for the football.
Callaway still in the game for Cal. The penalty gives the Bears the conversion. Mendoza throws, and that one sort of bobbled, but then brought in by Endries, and he turns it upfield, gets a first down into Pitt territory.
I really like that play call. That's an area of the field I'd really like to see Cal attack more. Pitt plays with 3 linebackers at all times. I think there's some mismatches out there on the outside, tight ends and slot receivers versus the outside backers.
Mendoza throws over the top, incomplete, trying to hit Mikey Matthews. So it'll be 2nd and 10.
Cal's really struggled early on in this football game on 1st and 10. They've gotten behind the sticks. And when you're in 2nd and 10, it's really hard as a play caller because you're trying to get to 3rd and 5 or less. Give a lot of credit to this Pitt defense being very sound on 1st and 10.
I think it's a good point because they converted some of those 3rd and longs. It's hard to keep doing that as the game goes on. Mendoza throws back to Endries, a little misdirection, and he gets tripped up, and a penalty flag, I think, is going to be another one against the Bears. Rashad Battle with a great effort to trip up Endries, who looked like maybe he had a chance for a big gain. We'll see what the flag is. I liked the little misdirection.
Yeah, a little throwback tight end screen. Roll right, try to get the whole defense flowing. You throw it back to the tight end. It was set up very well. Linebacker Lovelace did a good job getting in there, and then you talked about the shoestring tackle by Battle.
Personal foul, illegal block below the waist. Defense. 15-yard penalty.
Wow.
An automatic first down.
So the block below the waist wasn't against Cal, it was against the Pitt defense. Let's see if we can find it.
I don't see anything on that screen.
I'm baffled.
The block below the knee is something that's been taken out of football. They don't want defensive backs going low on offensive linemen when they get out on screens, trying to protect linemen from injuries, but we couldn't see anything on that last picture.
Now the second quarterback, Chandler Rogers, in for a design quarterback run. Well, that's interesting.
This is something Cal did a week ago against Miami. Chandler Rogers got in the ball game. They had a nice little run package, trying to create a spark in the Cal run game. And really, Chandler Rogers, he went neck and neck throughout fall camp with Fernando Mendoza. Mendoza was not named the starting quarterback until the week 1 game against UC Davis. So Chandler Rogers, he's very capable of running the football, but also throwing it downfield.
Rogers trying to get the offense lined up properly. On second down, he's still in the game, and again, he's going to look to run, and Pitt saw that coming. He lost 3 yards. Lovelace and company.
And the entire Pitt defense was in the backfield basically at the snap of the ball. Defensive end 44, Jimmy Scott, did a great job on his first step coming off the edge, got in the backfield, disruptive. Then you see Lovelace come in, George, and the rest of the party showed up to force a 3rd and long for the Cal Bears.
I mean, I do think sometimes those special packages, special personnel, you almost telegraph what's coming. But now 3rd and 12. Mendoza in the pocket, throws another one of those little tunnel screens. Brady turned it upfield and got stopped at the 21. Well short of a first down, and I think the field goal kicker is coming out. Ryan Coe, who's from here, just outside Pittsburgh.
I think this is a good decision by Justin Wilcox. I know a lot of fans love going for it on 4th down, but Pitt has really taken the momentum of this football game over. Up 17-6. Cal, you put together a great drive. You got to get some points as you head to the sideline.
Problem is, this has not been a given. Ryan Coe, he's got a big leg, but he has struggled. Just 50% on his kicks for the year. This one, plenty of leg and perfect. So the Bears do get points. It's 17-9. Case for so many people in Florida. So again, redcross.org/ESPN. As Cal, coming off a field goal, will kick it deep, and Pitt's offense will come on the field. How about the WNBA? What a game 1, a thriller in overtime. The Lynx got the win on Thursday night. Game 2 of the best of 5 WNBA finals tomorrow afternoon. Liberty need a win to tie the series. 3 Eastern, 2 Central on ABC and on the app. And WNBA Countdown tips off our coverage at 2:30 Eastern from Minnesota. Getting ready for halftime, I guess. We got some marching bands getting organized. We still have 5:57 to go, though, until halftime here in Pittsburgh. Panthers lead 17-9. Holstein throws it left side, and the turn upfield for a nice game. That didn't look like much. Mumfield ends up getting 6. Let's go down to Stormy.
Well, and this Pitt offense, remember, is down 2 starting offensive linemen, including their bell cow of the left tackle and captain Branson Taylor, who's been struggling to put any pressure on that left leg. He looks done, and his teammate there, Ryan Jacoby, in street clothes and a left ankle brace.
So not great news. Reid back in the game after he sat out the last offensive series for Pitt. He gets 3 to set up 3rd and short.
Really good job on 1st and 2nd down by the Pitt Panthers to make this a 3rd and manageable situation. At this point, you have your entire playbook at your disposal. You can throw for the first down, run for the first down. Don't be surprised if they elect to try to get the football out to the flat to Des Reid.
They've been great on 4th down. They haven't yet converted a 3rd down in this first half, despite leading 17-9. Play fake. Holstein rolling right, looking downfield. Now throws, and it's knocked down by Buchanan, who almost intercepted it. Teddy Buchanan in pursuit. So it's 4th and 1, and I mean, Pitt has been going for it. This time, though, looks like the punter's coming out.
Yeah, no hesitation, sending the punt team out on the field. Really nowhere to go with the football for Eli Holstein. Give a lot of credit to that Cal defense. Not fooled with the play-action fake. Quarterback got outside the pocket. Did a great job of finding their man, plastering down, and forcing the punt on 4th and 1.
You're right, and that was a particularly good play by Buchanan. So the punter out there with Matthews deep to receive. Kind of a low, wobbly punt. Couple of bounces. Matthews thought about it, then thought better of it, and that will turn out very well for Pitt. Did not look great coming off the foot. Turns into a 56-yard punt. Well, let's see. The Cal offense will come back out there. Can they give their quarterback some time to make a play?
Well, listen, that offensive line, they've been beat up all season long, and you're seeing this Pitt Panther defensive front 7 just getting after the quarterback all day, getting hits on Mendoza. Sacks aren't showing up, but they are affecting the game. They're getting to the quarterback. They're hitting him. But Mendoza, tough as nails, keeps getting up. Put together a great drive last series.
Well, we've seen when he has some time, he can make plays. Mendoza's playing well. Handoff on 1st down. Thomas got dragged down a yard or 2 maybe. Jimmy Scott makes the tackle.
It's a really good play by Jimmy Scott on 1st down. Jack Endries, the tight end, just kind of gets a light hand on him as he starts working up to the 2nd level. With a guy like Jimmy Scott, you got to get a little more wood laid on him. Otherwise, he's going to make a play in the backfield every time.
It's not great field position. Mendoza on 2nd down throws to Thomas out on the right flat, trying to use that blocker, and he got some positive yardage, maybe 5. It'll be 3rd down. It is that spot in the game where if he could go on a 4-minute style drive, Cal gets the ball to start the 2nd half.
That's exactly right. There's a chance for a 14-point swing here for Cal, but this 3rd down is extremely critical. I expect Pitt to bring some pressure here to force the quarterback Mendoza into making a very quick decision.
Plenty of time on the play clock. 3rd down, Mendoza throws, and that one is caught. Wow, a contested catch by Isaiah Hunter, and he got enough for the 1st down.
That was a really good route by Isaiah Hunter, just running a stop route at the sticks. Pitt electing to bring pressure. They blitz 6, and Hunter wins outside 1-on-1 with Rashad Battle.
So now on 1st down, Mendoza finds Matthews left side, spins through that tackle, and gets another Cal 1st down.
Nice route concept up top. Mason Starling creating kind of a natural rub play for Mikey Matthews.
Mendoza will hand it off. Thomas, though, stopped again. So Pitt has tightened up. They gave up some big runs early in the game. Those have been harder to come by for Cal.
It's a great play by outside linebacker Kyle Lewis. He's kind of playing 2 positions. He's at that outside linebacker spot. He's not even in your screen. He's out to the right side, so he has to play pass initially. But then as soon as he diagnoses that it's a run play, he shoots in, shows off his speed, his quickness, and instincts, makes a great play in the backfield.
He does have closing speed. There's been a couple of those plays from him in this 1st half. Mendoza rolling right, now scrambling. Mendoza will take a couple more hits and got 2 yards on that scramble play, and I think Cal is going to be content to let it go down to the 2-minute timeout. So they'll face another 3rd down. All right, Matt, we'll look forward to that as Cal trying to drive down the field in the final 2 minutes of this 1st half here at Pitt. Undefeated Panthers. 3rd and 7 for the Golden Bears. Mendoza throws wide open. Endries 1st down and more. Pressure came. Mendoza found his guy. It's a 1st down into Pitt territory.
Wow, what a pickup by Cal on 3rd down. Tight end Jack Endries is just wide open. Pitt Panthers elect to bring pressure. No one covering the tight end.
Play fake. Mendoza going deep right side, and Hunter had it knocked away. Now there was a penalty flag thrown, in fact a couple of them. Isaiah Hunter had a chance, I thought, to make that catch.
Legal substitution. Defense, 12 players on the field at the snap. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
It's a really good job of Fernando recognizing the substitution foul and giving his receiver a chance. It's a free play for Cal, so throw the football up for grabs. Great recognition by the young quarterback.
The third down conversions have been incredible. Hunter, I mean, maybe you give Gandy credit, but Hunter could have caught that one also.
Put it right in the breadbasket.
So 1st and 5 for Cal. All 3 timeouts. 1:43 to go until halftime. Mendoza throws and finds his man. That's Grizel breaking to the sideline. Gain of 7. Another Cal first down.
Once again, you have a slot wide receiver working against an outside linebacker in Braylan Lovelace. That's a matchup that the offense is going to win every single time. I really like that play call by Mike Blesh.
Fernando Mendoza, he's kind of dealing right now. He's 18 for 21.
This is something we've seen him do before. We had him down at Auburn earlier this season. He was 19 of 21 in the first half, making really good decisions with the football right now.
We had him down at Auburn. We've had him just about every game that Cal's played. Thomas gets upended after they hand the ball off, and Cal content to let the clock wind. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Good job by Javon McIntyre coming up from the free safety position. Very cerebral player. He's really kind of been a linchpin of this defense the last couple seasons. One of 2 returning starters for the Pitt Panther defense.
2nd and 10. Mendoza throws, and that one blown up. Anderson caught it, and Javon McIntyre was right there for the big hit. That play lost 4 yards.
And there's number 7 making back-to-back plays. Not fooled for a second. Mendoza looking right, acting like he's going to throw a tunnel screen to the right side of the field. McIntyre reads his keys, blows up the play to force a 3rd and long.
Cal still not using timeouts. That play changed the calculus of this whole situation.
That's exactly why they're letting time run off the clock. The key here is do not lose yardage. If you're Fernando Mendoza, you have a field goal in your back pocket.
Cal still waiting. Clock rolling. And now, after all that, Cal's going to call timeout.
Prior to the expiration of the play clock, timeout. Cal, they're first.
The play clock was
seconds.
right about to wind down.
Please reset the game clock to 25 seconds.
Gee, really tasty stuff out there. The crunch, the satisfaction, and now you're being named MV Cheese. What are you going to do next?
I'm going where cheese dreams come true. I'm going to Cheese World, baby. Cheez-It, official sponsor of the college football playoff.
All right, so out of the timeout, it's 17-9 Pitt. Cal has the ball, and you're right, Brock. They're in field goal range. They have a chance to get 3 points on the board before halftime, facing 3rd and 12.
Yeah, and that's key because Cal receives the opening kickoff of the second half in the 3rd quarter. So if you can come away, even if it's 3 points here, that's a huge momentum builder going into halftime. The key to this play right here, if you're playing quarterback, you cannot lose yards. You got to be very smart with the football and make a quick decision.
Thomas alongside Mendoza. Here comes the pressure. Mendoza did not throw it away. And he'll take the sack. Lovelace got there. And that's going to keep Cal from having a chance to put points on the board. He lost 7. And maybe they'll just line up and throw an end of half. Now a penalty flag is thrown. Oh, now that changes things. Justin Wilcox was getting ready to call a timeout. I think a Pitt player either threw a punch or a shove or something like that.
Yeah, Johnson and McDonald were getting into it. Some words were being said. You saw some arms fly.
Wow, if that's against Pitt, that's going to give Cal a good field goal chance after a disastrous sack, where the Bears were getting ready just to heave the ball to the end zone, I believe.
That's right. It was disastrous. Pitt forced him out of field goal range. I mean, this is critical. Have to keep your composure in big-time moments. See Johnson, like I said, Will McDonald, the center for Cal, getting into it after the play.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense number 66, his first of the game. 15-yard penalty. It's 4th down.
Okay.
This foul paused the clock to stop, which qualifies for a 10-second runoff. Cal will take its 2nd charge timeout to avoid the runoff. 30 seconds.
So the penalty was not against Pitt. It was against McDonald.
As said, there was some jawing, there was some pushing and shoving late in that play. Officials not letting them, are going to let this game get out of hand. McDonald had the first shove. But going back to what caused all this, you're going to see a second-level pressure from Pitt. And if you know this Pitt formula, this is how this football team plays. Got to have its situations. They're going to bring pressure. Fernando Mendoza, whatever he does, he cannot take a sack in that moment. They were trying to hit a double move down the field. It takes some time to develop, but you got to find a way to throw away the football and save the field position.
And I think we just heard the referee say Cal will not use the timeout. They're going to let the half end and go to the halftime locker room. Did much to make a huge impact. So now the kickoff. Cal will have the ball to start this second half, and the touchback means that the Bears will start at the 25. Dave Fleming, Brock Osweiler, great to have you with us for the second half. Look, you look at the stat sheet, Brock. Cal did a lot of things well in the first half. How do they turn that into more actual production?
Well, I think it's winning on fourth down. I think this game right now comes down to one thing, and it's Pittsburgh electing to go for it twice on their own in their own territory on fourth down, and both of those possessions for the Pitt Panthers led to touchdowns. If Cal's able to get off the field on fourth down, they probably hold Pittsburgh just to 3 points in that first half.
So Cal will get the ball to start the second half. Thomas with a first down run and a gain of close to 5. Cal, it was such a strange sequence to finish the first half. Now Thomas is down. I thought he got a little banged up in the first half. Jaden Ott, the star All-American running back for Cal, already in street clothes. He has not played at all today. Thomas is going to get some help and get off the field. How about our sideline report presented by Chili's? Let's go down to Stormy.
Well, Dave, talking to Cal head coach Justin Wilcox at the break, he said, we have played some really bad football in this game, but it's still just a one-score game. He prioritized with his guys focus, details, and discipline. He said penalties happen. The selfish penalties can't. And he said that's what led to the field goal. That's what led to the fourth down that went 70-plus yards. We need to dial those in.
Stormy's sponsored now. Did you notice that? Handoff on second down. Callaway gets dropped for a loss.
Yeah, that is big time. You need a sponsorship. But going back to Stormy's point, you know, Cal, they had 8 penalties in the first half. You know, when you're playing on the road against a quality opponent, an undefeated opponent in the Pitt Panthers, you can't shoot yourself in the foot like that.
Cal was excellent on third down, 5 of 9. Those penalties a huge part of the story. And after the negative play, they face 3rd and 7. And guess what? They just got their next penalty. Nick Morrow, the left tackle, I think he's the guy who moved.
False start. Offense number 52. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Yeah, that's the left tackle, redshirt freshman Nick Morrow, former high school tight end and defensive end, first-year starter for the Cal Bears. Just getting a little head start on the 3rd down play.
So now 3rd and 12 after a nice play to start this drive. Cal backed up again. Mendoza changing the play, changing the formation. Play clock winding down. They get the ball snapped. Mendoza is going to throw across the middle. It's knocked away. Flag thrown, and maybe an illegal hit against Mendoza.
Quarterback was hit below the knees. You saw it, Flem. It's a personal foul.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense number 30. 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Yeah, that's middle linebacker Brandon George. He was in on the pass rush. Hits Mendoza as he's releasing the football at and below his knees. Oh, you know, that's not on 30. That's on Isaiah Neal.
Yeah. Might have been also part of that tackle that was up around the head area.
Yeah, I think you're right, Flem. That's contact, forcible contact to the quarterback's head. That had nothing to do with going low. That was a clean tackle.
On first down, a little screen for the running back Callaway. Those screen plays have not worked as well for the Bears as this game's gone on. Another good play by Kyle Lewis. And if Jet Thomas is going to be out, I mean, Callaway is a capable back, but you're down Ott. If you're down Thomas, that hurts.
Callaway's very, very capable. Bit of a journeyman, but he started his career at Alabama. Very talented. Had a lot of success at Old Dominion before coming to Cal. He's very capable.
Second down and 10. Mendoza, a little play fake. He throws middle, and a penalty flag not on the contact where the ball was thrown, back more towards the line of scrimmage. So now we're going to have a penalty on every play.
Holding offense number 63. 10-yard penalty.
Rush Reimer, the left guard. That's the 10th Cal penalty, and they're over 100 penalty yards already.
Yeah, just continuing to shoot themselves in the foot. One step forward, two steps back.
By the offense, 5 players in the backfield. That penalty is declined.
So they actually committed 2 penalties on that play. So much for the point of emphasis in the locker room. It's the 4th time this year, Brock, in 6 games that they've had 10 or more penalties. It's not just today. Mendoza's throw is caught. Nice job coming back to the ball by Jonathan Brady. Let's go back down to Stormy.
And Dave, this is exactly the frustration that Justin Wilcox had, and he was very thoughtful when he talked about it. He said, we know that we're good enough to beat these guys. We just can't keep hammering this and kicking ourselves in the foot. Like, this isn't how we play Cal football.
There's a really nice play on second down by Mendoza and Jonathan Brady to get this back to 3rd and 7, a manageable distance. Pitt showing pressure early on in this down.
Let's see if they bring pressure. They do. Mendoza gets rid of it. What a catch. Just a great catch for a no. Well, the Pitt player's saying no. Cal's going to hustle and get to the line. As of now, it's a first down. Mikey Matthews.
Well, Matthews certainly bobbled that football a bit. I don't know if he controlled it all the way through the process of the catch.
And now they're going to stop it, and I think they're going to look. Cal just couldn't get organized and get the play snapped. So they're going to review it, and we'll get their decision right after this. That's where you got to have a play.
It's 4th down.
Well, I think they got the call right.
Yeah, it was a great effort by Mikey Matthews, but doesn't possess the football all the way through the catch. Football touches the turf. Give a lot of credit to Kyle Lewis, number 9, the outside linebacker, for the tight coverage and for forcing the 4th down punt.
So more frustration for Cal as they'll have to punt the ball away on 4th and 7. Bears had a chance to get to the line more quickly, I think, and get a play snapped, and maybe they ultimately got the call right. Now Wilson booms a high punt, fair catch at around the 19-yard line by Kenny Johnson. Will bring the Pitt offense on the field for the first time in the second half.
Well, we talked about Des Reid coming out of halftime. He had 2 monster 4th down pickups. A little Texas right out of the backfield in the first quarter ultimately led to the first touchdown of the game for the Pitt Panthers. And then coming back on 4th and short, right side of the offensive line, did a fantastic job. Des Reid took it 72 yards to the house. 2 big-time plays in this game.
Those 2 4th down plays are the reason Pitt is ahead, because otherwise Cal controlled much of that first half. First throw from Holstein, complete to Kenny Johnson for a gain of 6.
Good throw and catch to get the second half going for Eli Holstein. Had a pretty quiet first half, only threw for about 60 yards, 6 of 13.
Now Reid picking his way through. He'll get the first down for Pitt across the 30.
That was a great job by center Lyndon Cooper and Jason Collier, backup left guard, really just moving that line of scrimmage a couple yards downfield.
Play fake. Holstein will dump it and almost threw it right to Cal. Incomplete. I mean, the point you're making, Eli Holstein, this freshman quarterback, this is just his 6th career start. He's won his first 5 starts. He's been putting up monster numbers. He had 400+ total yards last week against Carolina.
That's right, Flem. 457 total yards. Put through for 381 through the air. Had a really quiet day, but you got to give a lot of credit to that Cal defense.
This throw right there. That's a completion and another Pitt first down. Once again, Kenny Johnson.
Good job finding the one-on-one matchup outside. Cal playing press bail technique. Corner bailed out of there. Kenny Johnson just sitting down along the sideline. Good throw and catch.
Well, Williams out there, the country's interception leader in the Cal secondary. Reid, handoff, and Reid kind of got knocked off balance after he got 3 yards. Let's go back down to Stormy.
And Reid, you'll notice if you look at his eye black, he's got 2 names, Pooty and Hezi, representing his brother Lavelle and nephew Hezekiah, whose lives were lost due to gun violence in 2019. Reid told me Lavelle was one of his biggest supporters, so much so that he nearly quit football when Lavelle passed because so much of his drive and passion was tied to his brother.
That pass incomplete. Well, he has shown a lot of personal resilience. He's turned into a brilliant player. Started his career at Western Carolina. Now he's on the big stage. That's what Stormy's talking about there. The Pitt coaches just rave about him in every way. His work ethic, his toughness, and then his ability.
Yeah, they say he's just a phenomenal teammate. He's somebody who's always smiling around the facility. You can see he plays with a chip on his shoulder and making the most of his opportunities here at Pitt.
3rd and 7. Pitt still has not converted a 3rd down today. Holstein across the middle, and it's almost intercepted. Wow, what a play by Teddy Buchanan. He got a hand up there and almost reeled it in. Instead, it's 4th down, and we'll see what Pitt wants to do.
What a play that would have been if Buchanan was able to reel that interception in. Great pass breakup. Eli Holstein trying to push the football down the seam to tight end Jake Overman. It's one of those throws as a young quarterback. You have to learn how to put enough air on it to get it over the linebacker, but you still have to have enough velocity to get the pass there before the safety can make the breakup. Great breakup by linebacker Teddy Buchanan.
So Caleb Junko will punt it. Matthews, fair catch, signal, and he muffs it. But he does, I believe, fall on the football. Wow. So Matthews avoids the turnover, 43-yard punt, and Cal almost gave it back. But he got on the football. That would have been a huge special teams mistake. Instead, Cal will have the ball after this. and the 2-3 Jets with a brand new head coach. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN. ESPN Deportes. Peyton and Eli will be with us on ESPN2 on Monday. The Steelers will not play here. They play tomorrow, but in Vegas against the Raiders. Jet Thomas back in the game. Fernando Mendoza and company inside their own 10. And Mendoza will go down. Got away from the first pass rusher, but not from Braylan Lovelace, who's having a big game.
Lovelace finished off the play, but you got to give credit to defensive end Nate Matlack, coming from the defensive end position, got into the backfield very quickly to disrupt Mendoza trying to push the football down the field. I'll tell you what, Pitt's defense, they've been playing with their hair on fire today.
It's part of the problem for Cal. They want to be able to throw the ball downfield more. They're often unable to give their quarterback time. Handoff straight ahead. Thomas at least got out of the shadow of the goal line, got out to the 9 to set up 3rd down.
Get the sense that this is a really pivotal 3rd down in the game. Cal's backed up. If they have to punt, the Panthers are going to have a short field. Really crucial for Cal to find their best 3rd and medium play right here to move the chains.
Mendoza pressured, and he gets sacked right near the goal line. I think he stayed out. Kyle Lewis got there almost to safety, but they'll say Mendoza was sacked at the 1.
Well, this is a really good blitz scheme by defensive coordinator Randy Bates. You're going to see Kyle Lewis come from the left side of the screen. Does a phenomenal job with his speed and quickness. Nobody's in pass protection accounting for Kyle Lewis coming from the 2nd level. Great job by the Panthers getting off the field and forcing a backed up punt. It's going to be very critical for Cal to execute here and don't make this sequence any worse.
And that was oh so close to being a safety. Now the play clock expires.
Delay of game. Offense. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. It's 4th down.
Half the distance to the goal means a foot.
Yeah, that might have even been 3 inches. We saw a little nudge on that football. It doesn't hurt you if you're
Please
Cal.
reset the game clock to 7:51.
How does your snapper forget to come in the game? David Bird is the snapper. He was not on the field.
Well, that shows where this Cal football team is at mentally. And this crowd here in Pittsburgh's really getting into the football game now.
Wilson gets it off quickly. We'll see. Johnson, return possible. Very possible to the 30. And that's where the Pitt offense will get the ball back. So great defense leading to special teams, and the Panthers up 17-9 have awesome field position.
Yeah, that's what you call complimentary football, Flem. Your defense pins Cal back. They get off the field. Special teams, great return. Now it's up to Eli Holstein and the rest of his offense to find a way to get this football into the end zone and really take over the momentum of the football game.
I mean, it's amazing how Cal has defended him, just 8 of 18 with all the gaudy numbers from the first 5 games. So we'll see. Pitt sends Johnson in motion with Reid in the backfield alongside Holstein. Play fake. Holstein going deep into double coverage. Intercepted. Picked off. And another one for Noel Williams. He leads the country and now add another one to his total. He's got 6 on the year. And Cal's defense gets the ball right back.
Well, that might have been the easiest interception for Noel Williams all season. You just said it, leads the country in interceptions. You're going to see Kenny Johnson up here, not on the same page with his quarterback. He sits down outside. Noel Williams bails. His quarterback and wide receiver not on the same page. Johnson sits it down. Holstein thinks he's going deep. Just throws it up for grabs, and Noel Williams, who's put together an All-American-esque season, makes the young quarterback pay.
Yeah, it's not been easy today for Eli Holstein, and so often early in his career he's made it look easy.
You know, and I don't know if Eli thought that there was a double move outside or if he thought the slot receiver was running a big box fade to that back pylon, but nevertheless, Noel Williams in zone coverage, you cannot test that cornerback.
Now Mendoza throws one, and that was a miscommunication. He thought Hunter was going deep, and he stopped. Let's go down to Stormy.
And Noel Williams getting some well-deserved props here on the sideline. When I talked to him this week, he joked the football gods have been on his side this season. He said it just feels like plays are coming to him more than ever before. But you know that quote, luck is when hard work meets opportunity? I feel like that's Noel Williams. He walks me through his daily schedule. With the exception of schoolwork, this guy is all football. First guy in the facility at 5:20 in the morning, and he's the last guy staying after practice every day.
It has definitely paid off. Handoff and a big hit on Thomas. So now it's third down for the Cal offense.
Brandon George coming in from the middle linebacker position, laying the wood on Jet Thomas. He's somebody that's been flying around sideline to sideline all day long, continuing to make big tackle after big tackle.
Cal another third and long. They're 5 of 11 on third downs. Thomas empties the backfield. Pressure, screen, and incomplete. Incomplete, trying to hit Brady. Ball on the turf. What a weird last couple minutes. Now Cal will punt the ball right back to Pitt.
That was a great job by cornerback Rashad Battle. 6'3", 200 pounds, fifth-year senior. Wasn't fooled for a second, diagnosed the tunnel screen that Cal was trying to get off, stayed with his receiver the whole time, and never gave that play a chance.
So both defenses come up with stops under some version of adversity.
Well, you talked about complimentary football. Pitt had a great opportunity. Cal just had a great opportunity. Neither one able to capitalize, really becoming a defensive football game.
Wilson angles this punt and sends it over the head of Johnson. That'll take a Cal bounce, and that is a great result for Lachlan Wilson. No, you're not going to blow it any closer to the goal line. Pitt will have the ball right there when we learn more. I give these students credit. They play at the shared home of the Steelers and Pitt football. We're a ways away from Pitt's campus. It's not an on-campus stadium. Makes it a little more challenging. Students are here in big numbers today. Cal playing some defense against this explosive Pitt offense. Reid just got swallowed up by Nate Burrell.
Burrell, Stanley McKenzie in there making a stop. I'm really anxious to see how Eli Holstein bounces back from the interception a series ago. A lot of things have not gone his way today. Just 8 of 19 for 76 yards and an interception. Young quarterback's going to have his mettle tested.
By far his toughest game of his young career. Throws across the middle. He's got a wide open man. And a cut up field all the way out to the 40. Kanate Mumpfield. He's their big play guy. We haven't heard much from him. That was a nice one.
Yeah, great throw and catch. Great recognition by the young quarterback. Middle linebacker Teddy Buchanan vacated his zone. Eli made the defense pay.
Quick tempo. Reid gets drilled again.
Going back to the explosive gain. Keep an eye on Teddy Buchanan, number 10. You're going to see him step up as the play moves along, vacating his zone, and that's what allows the football to go to Mumpfield for the explosive gain.
Hey, that talking to you gave your telestrator pen. It worked.
We've had a little hiccup with the telly today.
Reid bounces off that would-be tackle and somehow got positive yardage. Oh, my goodness. Xavier Carlton way in the backfield, had him and couldn't get him down.
And that's what Des Reid does. That's why he's the Swiss Army knife. He can make something out of nothing. Xavier Carlton very rarely misses tackles. Des Reid showing why he's one of the most dynamic players in the entire country.
I mean, it would have been 3rd and long. Instead, it's 3rd and 5. Reid shuffles out of the backfield. Holstein again looks middle. Now is going to scramble and push his way and get the first down. Wow. Great effort by Eli Holstein. He's got some power.
Great effort by Holstein. Great effort by his offensive line, covering down, pushing the quarterback across the first down line to gain. Cal did a great job in coverage. Nowhere to go with the football. Eli Holstein showing why he can make you pay with his legs as well. Great pickup for the Panthers.
I think Lyndon Cooper, the center, just wrapped him up and carried him. Now this pass is, that was caught by the tight end, Jake Overman.
The offensive line just picked up their quarterback, took him for a ride, picked up a fresh set of downs.
That was a heads-up play by Lyndon Cooper. A Hammond in the backfield for Pitt. There's Lyndon.
This is the first pickup on third down of the day for Pitt. 0 for 6 to that point.
Who knew? All they had to do was tell one of their offensive linemen, just whoever has the ball, pick him up. Uluave couldn't get Holstein down, but his teammate Teddy Buchanan does. Big sack and a big loss.
And that's what Cal needed at that moment. Really kind of on their heels. Pitt starting to gain the momentum. Teddy Buchanan coming from the second level. Cal also electing to bring number 20, the nickelback, Cam Sidney. One too many for the Pitt Panthers to force the third and long.
So a loss of 10, second sack for the Bears. And now it's 3rd and 19. It's going to be hard for an offensive lineman on 3rd and 19 to pick somebody up and get 20 yards. Now what?
Timeout. Pitt, they're first.
So they took too long. I think they were going to commit a delay of game penalty, so they burned a timeout on 3rd and 19. Gives us a chance to remind you that tonight at 8 Eastern on the ACC network, 3-3 NC State hosting 4-1 Syracuse at Carter Finley and Raleigh. Also available on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. NC State is the next opponent for Cal. The Wolfpack are going to travel all the way across the country to Berkeley next week. Pitt, meanwhile, gets Syracuse at home in their next game after a bye week. There's Cade Bell, the young, how old is Cade? 31?
31 coming over from Western Carolina. Wants to run an NFL-like system with an up-tempo type style to it. Up until today, has been putting up a lot of points and numbers.
Holstein intercepted again. Intercepted by Cam Sidney, who hadn't played much. He's in the game now, and he comes up with a huge play. The Cal defense, another pick. They are ball hawks in Berkeley, and they've given Cal's offense great field position.
It's a great play by Cam Sidney. Eli Holstein's second interception of the second half. You're going to see Sidney playing the nickelback position for the Cal Bears. You mentioned it, Flem. Wasn't starting earlier in the game. Had to come in. Does a great job in zone coverage of keeping eyes on the quarterback. Eli Holstein tries throwing that football late across the middle. And when you're playing zone coverage and you have eyes on a quarterback, you cannot throw late, especially deep across the middle. Great play by the redshirt sophomore, Cam Sidney.
I think he's the guy who came in when Lumagia Hearns committed all those penalties. Mendoza now is going to get sacked. Well, the offenses all of a sudden can't do anything on both sides. Another sack for Pitt. Jimmy Scott got there with some of his teammates as well.
Well, this Pitt defensive line is starting to get going. Coming into this game, not a lot of sacks on the season. They've been disruptive, but they didn't have the sack numbers. They're starting to get to Mendoza multiple times today. Great effort by Jimmy Scott coming off the edge.
That's the 4th sack for Pitt, so Cal's great field position is getting worse. It's 2nd and 16. Play fake. Mendoza steps up, throws into coverage, incomplete. And I think the Cal receiver, Josiah Martin, actually started to play some defense there.
Yeah, I think that was a really heads-up play by Josiah Martin. If he doesn't make that play on Ryland Gundy, the defensive back, number 10 for Pitt, I think that's going to be an interception going the other way. That's a heads-up play by the true freshman wide receiver.
Definitely could have been a penalty against Cal. So now the Bears, another 3rd and long.
So Cal, you don't need all the yards here on this 3rd down. Pick up half and make your coach have to decide if it's 4-down territory or not.
Mendoza pressured again. Mendoza goes down again. Another one for Jimmy Scott. even with the Cal penalty, Pitt got there anyway. And I'm pretty sure it's against Cal.
Offense, number 72. Penalty is declined. It's fourth down.
Man, the Cal offensive line is just getting beat every play now. It got to be so frustrating for the Bears. Their defense comes up with a pick and they can't do anything with it.
Jimmy Scott is starting to take over this football game from the defensive end position. 6'3", 60 pounds, redshirt sophomore, making 2 monster plays on this last series, and you can see he's having some fun here today.
I mean, the left tackler, Victor Stoffel, hardly touched him. It was a great move. You got to put up a little more resistance than that. It's 4th and 24. High punt. It's going to bounce. And Johnson plays it on the bounce and then loses it. And I think he, just like Matthews, got the ball back. I don't know what was going on with Johnson there. Either let it go or don't. This game's gotten, how would you describe it?
Sloppy.
Yeah.
and it's sloppy. And whoever's going to win this football game is the team. Whoever wins this game, it'll be whoever can settle into this moment, take a deep breath, get back to basics, get back to fundamentals and technique, and put together some solid sequences.
We've gone about 14 game minutes now without points on either side. Johnson got a little banged up. There's Cade Bellier. You do wonder, they've got so much confidence in their young quarterback. However, 2 interceptions in this quarter alone. In this field position, you wonder how aggressive Pitt's going to be. Handed off to Reid, trying to get to the left side. And Cal was ready for that one. Teddy Buchanan and more with the tackle right around the line of scrimmage.
It's a really good job by Nate Burrell on the edge, just setting that edge. And then Teddy Buchanan able to come in to clean up the tackle. Just like I said, Flem, in this moment, it's been sloppy, but if you think about it, as ugly as the game has really been for the last 2 quarters or so, it's still a 1-possession game. So which team can take a deep breath, settle in, and finish the game right?
2nd down and 9. Holstein back to pass near his goal line. Throws, and it's caught by the tight end for a first down. Gavin Bartholomew, that's a big play for Pitt.
It's a really good route by Gavin Bartholomew. Working on linebacker Cade Uluave. Just a little pivot route. Great recognition by the quarterback to get the ball to his tight end.
Holstein steps up. Holstein got away. Holstein gets tackled by Uluave and got a yard. So that will probably Narduzzi as his Pitt Panthers trying to go to 6-0 for the first time since 1982. 15 minutes away. Handoff Reid on 2nd and long, gets across the 25. Well, the defenses have taken control of this game, haven't they?
They really have. And I mean, look at it for Pitt. The thing that really jumps out to me, it's the 5 sacks. But then you look at Cal getting the 2 interceptions. And that's what Pat Narduzzi was just saying. It's part of the maturation process for a young quarterback. You have to understand how the game is playing out, how it's flowing. Be smart with the football. Lean on your defense and special teams right now.
So 3rd and 6. Holstein in the pocket, throws across the middle, and a huge hit. The tackle short of the line to gain by Craig Woodson. My goodness. Poppy Williams somehow hung on to the ball, but it's 4th down from the 30.
Great job by Craig Woodson coming out of the middle of the field at the free safety position. Laying a big hit on Poppy Williams. Clean hit. Doing a great job getting off the field, getting the football back to your offense. Down 8 here at the start of the 4th quarter.
This will be the 10th straight drive combined between the 2 teams without points. Pitt had thrown 2 straight interceptions. Now they punt the ball. And somebody's going to have to come up with a big play here. Pitt, they've got the lead. A towering punt. Matthews will try to return it, and I don't know if that was a good idea. So Cal's offense will be coming back on the field. This season, Allstate will celebrate every field goal and extra point made by participating universities by making a donation to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, Allstate. The Nets have been quiet over the last long stretch of this game.
Not a lot of use the last couple quarters here. Both teams came out pretty strong in the first quarter, had some scoring drives, and it's really gone quiet since. This is gut check time for the Cal offense. Back against the wall, down 8, start of the fourth.
Without their star running back, got to find a way to protect the quarterback. Mendoza throws Endries wide open across the middle. More pressure came from Pitt, and Mendoza found him. That's a gain of 20.
Jack Endries having some success today, working the middle of the field against the linebackers for the Pitt Panthers. Endries, a very good route runner for the Cal Bears.
So first down outside the 40. They'll hand it off to Thomas. Thomas made a good move just to get 2 yards.
You're going to see Jack Endries at the tight end position, working in the middle of the field. Fernando Mendoza, this is where he's found a lot of success today. Just Pitt Panthers completely void the zone, don't locate the tight end. Endries finds the soft spot. Good pickup on first down.
2nd and 8. Cal's running game has really slowed up as the game's gone on. They will hand it off again to Thomas. Bounces it right side. Thomas will get dragged to the ground, but I think he got enough for the first down, and Thomas is hurt again. Jet Thomas is, man, he's been banged up all game long. Donovan McMillan, the guy who made the tackle, and Thomas is going to come out of the game.
That was a good pickup by Jet Thomas. Right tackle TJ Session did a great job of capturing the edge. You're going to see the defensive end crash inside. TJ Session seals off that edge. That's what allows Thomas to capture that edge and pick up a good gain.
McMillan, who was a great high school wrestler, used some of that wrestling technique to get Thomas to the ground. Callaway, a straight ahead run for a yard. I mean, Cal's trying just to establish some run game, help the offensive line, help the pass attack. They're having a hard time.
Well, and this is going to be interesting to see how this plays out for Cal. They've been in this situation before. I think back to a couple weeks ago against Florida State, and you talked to Fernando Mendoza, and you looked at the big moments, and he said, listen, I need to learn to take a deep breath. I need to slow down my mind. I need to slow down my body. We'll see what he can do here in the fourth quarter against the Pitt Panthers on the road.
Down 8 with the clock winding down. Mendoza in the pocket. He's got plenty of time this time. Nowhere to go with the ball. Now he dumps it to Endries again. And the tight end on the move. First down and much more. Inside the 25, inside the 20 to the 19.
Well, when a quarterback can keep a play alive for that long, it's really hard in the secondary and for the linebackers to maintain coverage. Jack Endries just gets lost. There's a little collision in the middle of the field, and when Mendoza rolls out to his left, the tight end pops wide open. Really good job by Mendoza navigating the pocket, buying some extra time while keeping his eyes down the field.
Byron Cardwell, the 3rd running back, is in. Maybe the 4th running back. Mendoza, little misdirection, and he throws and hits Endries. Touchdown! Another one for the tight end, 19 yards, and Cal is a 2-point conversion away from tying this game.
That was a really crafty play call by Mike Blesh. You really fake a double screen. You fake to the left, you fake back to the right. 2 fakes on the screen, and then your tight end kind of delays, acts like he's blocking, and then releases right down the middle of the field when the defenders think there's no chance that he's going to release. That was a great play design.
So now to tie the game for 2. Rogers with Mendoza. Both are on the field. It's Mendoza who goes back in the backfield. They flip it to Rogers. Rogers gets away, but not for long. Mendoza himself went out as a possible pass catcher, and Cal does not convert, so Pitt stays ahead by 2.
What a 2-point stop by Pitt. Just lost the momentum after the big touchdown, got off the field. But Jack Endries bringing it in. 2-point game here in Pittsburgh.
They didn't get it in the first quarter. They didn't get it a moment ago. So the Bears are still down by 2 with 10:30 to go here against number 22 undefeated Pitt. And the kickoff will be taken at the 5 by Kenny Johnson. Returns it out to the 20 and breaks open. The kicker himself, Ryan Coe, got in on the tackle. A helmet flew off. So we got some pushing and shoving behind the play. We'll get everybody separated and take one more look at that 2-point try just a moment ago for Cal.
Yeah, failed attempt for Cal. 2 quarterbacks on the field. Mendoza flips it to Chandler Rogers. Give a lot of credit to Pitt. Everyone stayed home. Great job with the eye discipline. They weren't fooled for a second with the trickery. And I'll be honest with you, Flam, I'm looking at this, and I would love to know the theory for Cal, why they went for 2 in the first quarter when they didn't need to. And because that was a failed attempt, that's what forced them to go for 2 now to try to tie up the ball game rather than just kicking the extra point. I don't get the decision in the first quarter.
Just kick it both times, and it's a tie game with 10:20 to go. Instead, defense back on the field. Pitt, can the offense come back to life? The Pitt offense has struggled in the second half. Handoff, Reid straight ahead, and Reid gets out to the 35, gets 5 on first down. The ball came out at the end of the play. Well, I thought it did. It didn't. Reid just got shoved backwards.
Things are starting to get a little chippy down there on the field. Hotly contested ACC conference game. Seeing a lot of pushing and shoving here in the third and fourth quarter.
So 2nd and 5 for Eli Holstein, who's having by far his toughest game in his freshman year at Pitt. Back to pass, throws, and that's a nice delivery. Then the turn upfield by Williams for a Pitt first down.
I like that play call by Cade Bell, just trying to get his young quarterback back into rhythm with a guaranteed completion. Just a quick little hookup by Poppy Williams, easy throw and catch.
Last 5 drives for Pitt, 3 punts and 2 interceptions. Play fake, Holstein over the top, down the sideline, incomplete. Cam Sidney again with coverage. Greg Woodson was helping him out. Cam Sidney's playing well.
I was just going to say, he's made some really good plays since coming into the game. He had the interception. He's done well in coverage. He's been blitzing from the nickel position, making some plays in the backfield. Great surprise for the Cal Bears.
Pitt offense top 5 in the country in total yardage coming in. Only 94 second half yards for the Panthers. Holstein, play fake across the middle, knocked down. Another tip ball. I think it was Woodson who got that one. Was that the 3rd of the game for the Cal defense?
Yeah, it was either Woodson or Uluave. Both were there to make the play. Eli Holstein, big, hard play action fake, gets the secondary. Oh, yeah, it's Woodson. Great call on that, Flem. Craig Woodson coming up from the safety position. It's that play action fake that gets the secondary to bite up, trying to pop a slant behind him. The 6-year senior, great job getting his hand on the football.
So now 3rd and 10. Pitt's only 1 for 9 on 3rd down in the game. Holstein is going to try to run, and he'll get tackled. I don't know if it's officially a sack. Derek Wilkins got him to the ground. I think he did maybe lose a half yard. It doesn't matter in terms of the end result. Pitt's going to have to punt it.
Just a 4-man rush for the Cal Bears. Doing a great job in zone coverage. Nowhere to go with the football down the field. The young quarterback trying to step up. Derek Wilkins not having any of it, bringing the quarterback down and forcing a punt here on 4th and 10.
So the Cal defense has given their offense a chance despite all the struggles in this game. 8.5 minutes to go. Cal's going to get the ball back. Junko, a high punt, and it's going to bounce into the end zone. So that's a touchback. And Fernando Mendoza and the Bears are going to try to go ahead. They have the ball when we come back.
Rise up. One of their vocal leaders on that side of the ball, Brandon George, moments ago, went up to each of his guys and just said, this is what we live for. We've got this. It's time to finish it. And it really resonated because all the Pitt players I talked to this week said they have a feeling of being comfortable in the uncomfortable in the 4th quarter. There is so much trust in this group.
Well, it's definitely true. They've had a lot of experience in spots like this. A little trick play for Cal and a nice play as their freshman receiver Josiah Martin gets 7 on first down.
Little trickery on first down for the Cal Bears. A little end around coming from the slot, number 17, Mendoza, kind of faking the screen pass out to Jet Thomas. Martin coming around the edge on the misdirection.
I don't know if anybody was actually buying that fake throw, but the play still worked.
You got the defense flowing, and you had a really good start on 1st and 10, which you've really struggled with throughout this game, getting positive yards on 1st and 10.
That's their best first down play in a while. Thomas now, and I thought he was going to get more than that. Pitt swarmed to the ball in the end. So now here we go. 3rd down and 2 coming up for the Bears. So there's a Pitt defender, Key Thompson, over on that far sideline. He's down and hurt. And I think he's going to stand up and now walk all the way across the field. Something about those old school neck guards. If you're a linebacker, I like the way that looks.
Oh, yeah. Means you play with a little bit of attitude. I love it.
All right, big play coming up. But first, let's check in with Matt in studio. All right, Matt, thanks. 3rd and 1 for Cal. 7:20 to go. Mendoza back to pass, throws middle, and caught again. Another one for the tight end, Jack Endries, who's having a huge game. That's 15 more yards for him.
Well, Jack Endries, you just said it for him. He's had the hot hand all day, putting together a great ball game for the Cal Bears. Just gets lost in coverage. Great job picking up a 1st down for Cal.
So another conversion for the Bears. Thomas emptied the backfield. Mendoza scrambling, throws, and a nice catch coming back to the ball for Jonathan Brady.
Here's the 3rd down pickup by Jack Endries. Linebackers flow hard to the field for Pitt. Endries sneaks behind him.
Thomas, straight ahead run, and Jet Thomas, he's taken some big hits in this game, but he got enough for a 1st down.
Very physical game down there today. 2 teams that really pride themselves in how they play defensive football. Pitt obviously playing with an edge here in the Steel City. But don't kid yourself, this Cal Bears, they know how to play defense as well.
J.B. Thomas, you can forgive him for needing a minute to regroup on the sidelines. 6 minutes to go. Mendoza, that was just a busted play. Lost a yard. Jimmy Scott, another tackle for loss for him on the Pitt defensive side.
Well, yeah, that ball was supposed to be tossed out to Cardwell, but Mendoza sees Jimmy Scott running up the field so quick, he probably feels like if he tosses it out there, Jimmy Scott's just going to catch it and take it back to the house. It's probably a heads-up play by Mendoza, keeping that football, not making a bad play worse.
Clock still winding. Cardwell stays in the game. It's 2nd and 11. Play fake. Mendoza will go down. Gets sacked. Scott and Nick James.
Jimmy Scott is having himself a day. The 6th team sack for the Pitt Panthers here in the afternoon. Left side of your screen, Jimmy Scott, just relentless. 6'3", 260 pounds, making a play for his defense when they need him most.
The towels are out. It's 3rd and 14. Play clock down to 3, down to 2, and Cal just got the ball snapped. Mendoza, and maybe they blew it dead and we couldn't hear it. He stopped playing. And did Cal call a timeout? So a timeout on the field with 3rd and 14 coming up. Final 4.5 minutes in Pittsburgh.
Minutes left in the ball game. You only have 2 timeouts left in your back pocket if you're Cal. So the key here, if you're the quarterback, you just need to pick up half the distance. Make it 4th and manageable, because this is automatically 4-down territory for the Bears.
Out of the timeout, Mendoza pressured again, throws incomplete. Here comes a penalty flag. And I think Grizel, there was just contact that came too early.
It's Cruz Brookins in coverage. Redshirt freshman, strong safety, hometown kid.
Well, that's huge. Now Cal, down 2, is at least close, but probably in field goal position.
I think there was a slight tug with the right hand by Brookins. You see Tron Grizel's jersey. Little early contact. I think that was a really good call by the officials.
So now Cal inside the 40 at the 36. Well, handed off. Cardwell sneaks through, and Cardwell with a tough run. That's his first carry, I think, of the game, inside the 30 down to the 29.
This is when you want to see your offensive line take over a football game. Byron Cardwell in, 6 foot, 215 pounds. A big back, kind of a thumper when he gets going downhill. And you see the strength on that last run.
So now Cal, all of a sudden the situation changes. The penalty, a 7-yard run. Not that a field goal is automatic, anything but for the Bears. They have not been a good field goal kicking team this year, but the clock is less of a factor. Under 4 minutes to go. Cardwell, another carry. Cardwell got close, and I do think he got the Cal first down.
You just said it, Flem. The clock is the friend right now of the Cal Bears. You're going to see them let the play clock run inside of 4 seconds every single play before they snap it. You mentioned it, place kicker Ryan Coe. He's had some ups and downs this season. 1 for 1 on the day today. But Cal's going to milk as much clock as they possibly can in this moment.
You can sort of imagine what's going through the mind of Ryan Coe. All the ups and downs of this season. This is his hometown. He's got to be thinking about the possibility of a potential winning kick. Cardwell this time had nowhere to go. Got stopped at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
Really good job by middle linebacker Brandon George, scraping over the top. There to make the tackle for no gain. I want to talk about somebody who's had themselves a ball game today. That's George. He's been everywhere for this Pitt defense.
I mean, the Pitt defense has bailed out the offense all second half. They've played great, but they need one more stop.
They do. And their backs against the wall, clock's going against them. They do have all 3 timeouts. They have the 2-minute timeout, 2 timeouts with the 2-minute timeout coming up.
Thomas into the backfield, and they will fake it to him. Mendoza, kind of a straight ahead run for a yard or 2. And assuming Pitt doesn't use one of those timeouts, I don't think they will. That'll take us to that 2-minute timeout, which is a new rule, and it's definitely had an impact on the way these late game situations play out. 3rd down.
A lot of pressure on 3rd down today. So if Pitt wants to bring pressure and give me a one-on-one outside, I'm taking a shot for the end zone to try to end the football game.
Look who's in at quarterback. It's Rogers, not Mendoza. Thomas in the backfield. Rogers keeps it. Rogers runs and gets stopped. And so now Pitt's going to burn a timeout with 1:54 to go. Basically, Cal told us what they were going to do by putting Rogers in the game.
Yeah, Justin Wilcox made up his mind on the sideline, said, listen, we're going to try to make this field goal a little bit easier on Ryan Coe. We're going to run the football on 3rd down. And now in a lot of ways, now there's still time if this football goes through the uprights. But Cal's really putting the game in Ryan Coe. I don't want to say his hand, it's really on his leg.
The senior from McDonald, Pennsylvania, here in the Pittsburgh area, has a chance for an all-time personal memory if he makes it and if Cal holds on to win. He has not had a great year. This from 40 to put the Bears ahead. A little bit of a high snap, a low kick, and no good. Another missed kick for Cal, and Pitt is 150 away from keeping their record perfect.
The fourth quarter misfortunes for Cal just continue on this year. Ryan Coe, who missed 2 kicks inside of 40 yards on the road at Florida State, a 6-point loss, coming up with another missed 40-yard field goal attempt to put his team up by 1.
So Pat Narduzzi now. Cal has 2 timeouts. If Pitt wants to end the game right here, right now, they need a first down. Cal crowding the line of scrimmage. Hand off to Reid. Reid bounces and then spins ahead. So he did end up getting 3 yards. Cal will burn their second of 3 timeouts.
Timeout. Cal.
1:39 to go.
30 seconds.
Last time that Pitt was held scoreless in a half and still won the game, you have to go all the way back to 2021. They have not scored since halftime. And really, all of this, Brock, goes back to early in the game. Cal decided they scored the first touchdown of the whole game, and they used a trick play to try to go for 2. Botched that one. So then they had to go for 2 when they scored another touchdown later. That didn't work. Otherwise, the game would have been tied. And then the missed field goal means they still trail 17-15.
That's right, Flem. I just don't understand why you go for 2 early in the first quarter. There's no need for it. It sets you up for a failed situation later on in the ball game. Just miscue after miscue for Cal today. A lot of penalties, missed opportunities, can't protect the passer. But at the end of the day, Ryan Coe did have a good shot from 40 yards out to put his team up.
7 yards for the Panthers to put this game away. 2nd and 7. And the clock got set back to 1:46. Holstein dropped the ball, and now he gets sacked back at the 20. So he dropped that snap and ends up taking a 4-yard loss.
Snap was a little off target. It was low and right.
Their third and final.
Lyndon Cooper at center.
Please reset the game clock to 1:42.
Another big play by Ricky Correa to swallow him up.
That happens often when an offensive lineman has to make a big reach, and Pitt was trying to run a stretch play. A lot of times you see that football come back low and opposite of the direction the center's working.
So now Cal, that is their final timeout. So no matter what happens here, Pitt's going to be able to use the clock down to about a minute or thereabouts. And if you're Pat Narduzzi, do you have to make sure that the clock is rolling? Can you risk an incomplete pass?
No, absolutely not. You're running the football here. There's no question. And you're also telling that ball carrier to make sure you get down inbounds regardless of where this play goes. You got to run some clock, punt the football back to Cal, and let your defense go win the football game.
So you got the outstanding running back Des Reid in the backfield alongside the freshman quarterback Eli Holstein, who takes a snap. They're going to throw it. Amazing. They throw it across the middle. It is complete, but Cal gets the stop well short. Bartholomew with the catch. That's amazing that they would do that, but the clock does wind. They completed the pass.
Flem, we've officially seen it all. That's such a risky decision there by Pat Narduzzi to throw the football. If that ball's incomplete, you're giving the football back to Cal with at least a minute and a half to go. If you're going to throw, because you want to be aggressive, you want to try to win the football game with the ball in your hands, you at least have to throw the football beyond the line to gain.
So because Cal didn't have that third timeout, I think Pitt is going to let this go all the way down. Under a minute. We'll see if they call timeout. I think that's what Pat Narduzzi's going to do. He will. So play clock got down to 1. Clock at 52 seconds.
30 seconds. Please reset the game clock to 55 seconds.
So the clock needs to go back to 55. Every second matters now. Cal is going to get the ball back.
And you know what? Cal has experience in this situation. They got the ball back, little over 30 seconds to go last week against Miami, needing to drive the field, trying to hit chunk plays. So they're going to have some tape that they learned from last week. I guarantee you they worked on it in practice this week. Cal's been in this situation before.
And we saw that shot of Ryan Coe, the kicker. You can only imagine the things that are going through his head, but he may well get another opportunity.
Well, the key is you have to have a short-term memory. You have to find a way to turn the page. And fortunately for him, he has a coach in Ryan Longwell, who's a kicker in the Packers Hall of Fame that he's able to visit with on the sideline.
This is an important punt for Junko, and it's not a great punt, but it is going to bounce. Man, Matthews let it bounce instead of coming up to field it, which was not an easy decision. It goes out of bounds and turns out pretty darn well. 52 yards, no return. Well, there's some leadership from Carlton. Xavier Carlton trying to get Ryan Coe ready. We'll see if Cal can give him an opportunity with no timeouts and only 47 seconds. I mean, you figure 40 yards or so to have a prayer.
Yeah, and you just said it, Flem. Cal has no timeout, so they have to find chunk plays, have to spike it, work the sidelines.
Mendoza will throw middle and incomplete. He threw it behind Grizel. 41 seconds now.
That was a really good job in coverage by Javon McIntyre. Phillip O'Brien playing the safety position over the top. Really, really good coverage by the Pitt Panthers. Nowhere to go with the football versus the two-deep zone. Still plenty of time to work the middle of the field if you're Cal. The clock will stop on a first down. Plenty of time to work the middle and clock the football.
The tight end, Endries, he's been their guy, but he's in the block here. Mendoza throws. That one is almost intercepted and then almost caught. It's incomplete. O'Brien had a chance. 38 seconds to go.
Just glove coverage by the Pitt Panthers right now. The defensive front doing a good job affecting the quarterback, getting him off his spot. But this secondary for the Panthers doing a phenomenal job here with 38 seconds to go in the ball game.
Pitt hasn't been 6-0 since 1982. They're 38 seconds away from that. Third down, and I think Cal moved. Another penalty against the Bears. Give these fans credit. It has gotten loud here.
Steel City showing up here late in the fourth quarter.
12th penalty against Cal. That was the receiver, Mason Starling.
Cal's 13th penalty on the day. So hard to commit that many penalties and win on the road in conference play.
Pitt's defense looking for one last stop. Pressure, a hit, a throw, incomplete. Mendoza took another hit. Kyle Lewis got in there. And now Cal needs 15 yards or this game's going to be over.
Tell you what, Kyle Lewis has been everywhere today for the Pitt Panthers. Working a little stunt inside. Showing his speed, putting pressure on Fernando Mendoza to force the 4th and 15 for the Cal Bears. Game on the line.
Ball snapped. Mendoza steps up and he throws. It's going to be tackled short. Starling with the catch, but Rashad Battle with the open field tackle. And that sort of says it all for Cal. Starling got hurt, I think, on that play. Justin Wilcox can't believe it. His team again in a close game, again down to the final seconds, again with missed kicks and missed conversions, a big part of the story. And Cal's going to lose their third straight game in agonizing fashion.
It's just the difference of making plays in critical moments. Got to give a ton of credit to Rashad Battle on that fourth down play with the stop. But really that entire Panther defense on that sequence. Defensive front getting after the quarterback, secondary not allowing any windows downfield to make a pass. Very, very impressive stop by the Pitt Panthers to seal the football game.
We came on the air, Brock, saying this wasn't sort of old school Pitt. This was an offensive-led team. This is Pat Narduzzi, Steel City football today. The Pitt defense came up huge.
6 sacks on the day by that defensive front. A team that, you know, really kind of had to answer to the media. They've been known that they've had the most sacks in the country going back to 2019. Not a lot this season. They're affecting the quarterback. But today they changed that narrative, sacking Fernando Mendoza 6 times on the day.
Starling still hasn't gotten up. He's very upset. That right ankle, right foot, not good. All Pitt has to do is snap the ball cleanly and take a knee, and this game will be over. And you hope that Starling's going to be all right. Well, Pitt did it a whole different way today.
They really did. They found multiple ways to win football games this year, coming from behind against Cincinnati, West Virginia, putting up a lot of points on the road last week against UNC, and then just what a defensive performance here today. Flem, that's what great teams do. Great teams always find a way to win. It might be different every week, but they come out with the W. 6-0 for the Pitt Panthers, first time since 1982.
42 years ago. And somewhere Bino Cook is smiling because this Pitt team is set up to have a great year. Pat Narduzzi, Justin Wilcox meet near midfield. Final seconds tick off the clock. The Pitt Panthers are undefeated, 6-0. A hard-fought, tough guy, 17-15 win. And let's go down to Stormy.